Millions of South Africans lived in poverty before the world knew of COVID-19. The pandemic brought more hardship. Many breadwinners lost their jobs, leaving them depressed and unable to provide for their families.
We have a lot of suicides. We have a lot of neglect, whereby the families, they leave their children and go. I believe that maybe it's too much for them. Because remember, when COVID happened, no one knew that what is going to happen. Now the effects of it is very painful, whereby they didn't get the chance to deal with it.
Across the continent, depression and anxiety are a growing burden. In South Africa alone, 1 in 3 people struggle with mental health conditions and is worsening among children and young adults.
Diagnosis of mental health illnesses, it usually starts around the ages of 14, but there are also additional pressures. There's the social media aspects that contribute to that. These kids are not sleeping as well as they used to because they are on devices. There is, substance abuse that we see, in those age groups.
Rays of Hope works closely with children in Alexandra Township. It has noticed drastic behavioral changes in some learners.
During lunch, you would observe a learner sitting by themselves, and when you just go by and just have a conversation, "Hi, are you okay?" And then the child burst into tears. I think that child was 12 years old. Then I asked her, what's going on? And she was like, "I hate life."
The organization lends a helping hand with a range of services in the Alexandra community, but access to healthcare is still severely limited for most South Africans.
We're breaking the stigma, we're creating more awareness, more people are talking about it, and I think we have more key stakeholders and role players that are having these conversations. But when it comes to budgets, we're not seeing budgets that are increased in allocations, we're not seeing more services being made available.
Mental illness costs South Africa alone at least $10 billion a year in lost productivity, but the emotional and personal loss is far greater. Inadequate financing remains the biggest hurdle in dealing with what's being described as the next pandemic. Julie Shara, CGTN, Cape Town, South Africa.